and welcome to the third video in our series looking at Room Director 3. In this video we will be looking at basic switching. Switching is very important within Room Director and the Mile rooms, in that it gives the users control over what they want to do and what they want to see and what they want to experience. So in this video we're going to show you basic switching that we call Waitontrigger, and all that basically means is that the scenario plays to a certain point where it will stop and pause, and it will pause until a trigger is activated, and that could be the press of a button, the roll of a cube, and so on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop in a pre-made video that we've got. Just going to drag the video down as before. There are videos, and this one is called Edge of Existence. And what this scenario just entails is a rocket taking off and flying through space to the edge of the universe and back again. It's a little bit mixture of action at the start, and it calms down throughout, so it could be used for de-escalation. But we have some basic switching, so what I'm going to do is just play the scenario so we can look at the sort of switching that is expected. Just to note as well, we're not going to do any effects on this, we're just going to concentrate on the switching, but if you wanted to, you would have the same type of effects that you would put in your other scenarios. So you can see we've got on the screen the preview, and it's just saying the mission for the users. Just going to get ready on my pause button. So you can see at this point it is saying, Commander, press red to accept your mission, and we've hit pause. And so what we want to do is we want to put a trigger in here at this exact point. So I'm going to use the Color Selector Deluxe in this particular scenario, but it's the exact same process for the cube, the iPads, or whatever other talkers you have. So I'm going to drag the Color Selector Deluxe down, and you get a very similar dialog box to the listeners. So we've got a few options in here. We've got wait for trigger, jump on trigger, and jump on trigger only, and we're not going to worry about the other two in this video. We'll cover that in another video. So we want to choose wait for trigger. You can see on screen that it says Commander, press red to accept your mission. We're going to click OK. And you can see we've now got an event there saying color selector, wait for trigger, red, 30 seconds. Okay, and we're going to continue to play the scenario. And we've just got some graphics to make it kind of science fiction. And what we're going to see now is a space shuttle launch from outside. If this was your scenario, you know, you'd maybe have the sound quite loud. If you had a fogger, you would most certainly use the fogger for this. You'd be turning the lights red and blues to simulate the fire of the engines. You could use the jet stream fans to simulate wind, and you could use the vibroplinth to simulate the vibration of the rocket on takeoff. Just going to skip ahead a little. There's a little bit of footage. Whoops, what I've actually done is started at the start there again. Okay, we're just nearly up to the point where we need to put our other wait for trigger in. Just a point of note, you have to be quite precise with these, because as you know, with children, they expect things to happen straight away. So I've just hit pause again, and you can see again it's got a bunch of writing here, just again science fiction-y type stuff, but at the bottom it says Commander, press green, activate ion drive. So what we're going to do again is grab our color selector. We're still wait for trigger. This time we're going to say green. OK. And then we've got wait for trigger green color selector. And again, we're going to skip through. There's a lot of not so relevant stuff for us to look at in this. Okay, you just see we're going through the stars there. It's just fading out. And again, we've got another prompt, please press blue to return to Earth. So again, the exact same process. Color selector deluxe, wait for trigger, blue, and that's it. This is a very simple way to use the color selector and the wait for trigger options. You're literally prompting the users what to push, but you could use this in a totally different way. So on screen you could have a scenario where you have questions and the correct question is the correct color. So for example, you could have imagery of the sun or imagery of the moon, say for example, and it says what color is the moon, and the scenario would then stop until someone presses white. And we could call this a form of positive reinforcement, because pushing the wrong buttons doesn't do anything, whereas pushing the right button, you have the reward of the scenario continuing. So I'm just going to quickly show you guys what happens. I'm just going to open our virtual switch box. So this replaces the color selector deluxe, so we can do it on screen. So if I play the scenario, it'll play through. So as before, we go through the sci-fi type text, and then we get to the point where it says, Commander, press red to accept your mission, and the scenario simply stops. You can see the yellow play line is stationary, and it is waiting for the trigger that you have set. The trigger you have set is press red on the color selector. So until somebody presses red on the color selector, this scenario is not going to continue. If I press red on the color selector, you can see the scenario then continues. And you can put some sort of reward in here, so you could have the bubble tubes turn on red immediately afterwards. But that is the basic premise. The scenario plays until the wait for trigger, and it stops, and it will not move until that trigger is pushed. Okay, so that just about covers the wait on trigger. In the next video we're going to look at jump on trigger, and that gives the user a little bit more multiple choice. Okay, thanks for watching.